On a cloudy day, Miyuki, who had a fight with her mother, was deeply sad. She was sitting in the room and shedding tears. Meanwhile, she turned to the hamster in the cage. The hamster seemed to be sleeping as usual, but Miyuki felt uncomfortable. She touched the hamster, but she was cold. At that moment, she learned that the hamster had died. Miyuki hugged the hamster and spent in sadness. She remembered the time I spent with the hamster, and was just getting more painful. However, no one knew her feelings. She was alone and sad and continued to cry. At that time, Miyuki remembered her sister who was missing about a year ago. Your sister lived in the neighborhood and was close. She liked to make sweets and listen to music with Miyuki. However, after one day, my sister disappeared. At that time, Miyuki reminded me that I went to a vacant lot with my sister and buried a stray cat that happened to be a traffic accident. When he found a cat, he said that the cat might have been abandoned. He said, I may be thrown away. Miyuki thought it might be related to the fact that her sister had disappeared somewhere. She feels like she is in the same situation as her sister. Her hamster was filled in a vacant lot, just like her sister's cat. It was sad for her, but it was also a place where memories with her sister revived. Miyuki decided to fill a loved hamster in a vacant lot. I dug a hole beside the grave of my sister's cat and filled the hamster there. She took a shovel and headed to the vacant lot. In a vacant lot with a creepy atmosphere, she was worried. However, for her beloved hamster, she began to dig a hole with courage. She began to dig a hole next to the cat's tomb. When I dig a little, a white bone appeared. I thought it was probably a cat bone, but she felt uneasy in her heart. I decided to dig another place a little far. She was tight and began to dig a hole with a shovel again. Then, a large bone appeared in her hand. She shook with fear. It was a human bone. She doubted her eyes. What happened and what was buried in this place? She took out the bones while trembling with fear. At that time, she was astonished. It was the baby's body. She hurriedly reported to the police. The information spread in a blink of an eye, and the area became noisy. The police explored the surroundings, and eventually found a cat bone and a baby bone from the vacant lot. Are they still born and died, or are they involved in some kind of crime? No one knew it. The body of a baby found in a vacant lot. It left a deep wound in Miyuki's heart, and she was trembling with anxiety and fear. Miyuki remembered yesterday's event and woke up from his sleep. She looked around with anxiety. Yesterday's baby's bones suffered her, and she was trembling with anxiety and fear. When she turned on a TV, a new incident was flowing. It is said that the bones of an adult woman were found. The news also reported that police had already begun investigating. But her heart was still restless. She thought she might be the person she knew, and was worried that a similar crime would be repeated. She was sitting down because she had no idea. She sighed deep and wanted to cry in her heart. But it was a feeling of sleeping deep in her heart. She couldn't beat her emotions and cried. The woman may be a person that Miyuki knows. With that in mind, she's scared. I remembered that my sister was missing. Perhaps the terrible idea that your sister had been killed in the same way crossed your head. Miyuki was thinking about the baby's body found by the police in a vacant lot. The hypothesis she came out was that her sister was silently pregnant with her boyfriend, and she might have been killed by her boyfriend. She suffered from that idea and breathing rough. She thought if that really happened. She was scared and couldn't pursue that idea and stood up. She didn't know where the sister was. She didn't know why her sister was missing. But that idea continued to suffer. After seeing the baby's body, she felt the world was dark.